Now, let's proceed to the question to lawyer Shifana Sharifudeen. Shifana Sharifudeen, we understand that the proposed amendment bill contains many disadvantages to the Muslim community. Plus, please explain to us, were there any productive steps have been taken by the Muslim members of parliament and the Muslim community regarding proposed amendment bill?
Thank you for asking this question, Brother Sabri. In order to answer this question, first I would say that, as lawyer Zarina clearly explained, the proposed amendment bill has the potential to put our community in new plights. If this bill passed by the parliament and it becomes as a law, it is impossible to retrieve it. So, at this point, it is crucially important to do whatever the necessary actions to prevent this type of amendments. Further, we all have to understand that this bill was drafted based on the report of the committee appointed by the former Justice Minister, Mr. Ali Sabri. The report of this particular committee was not transparent. Also, the bill drafted based on the above said report was given only to the Muslim members of parliament for review. That also was made possible only after a lot of pressure came from our community. So this is a very important fact we all have to keep in our mind to understand the scenario. Now we will see what are the actions has been taken by the Muslim members of parliament and Muslim community regarding this proposed amendment bill. After the drafted bill was handed over to the Muslim members of parliament, a report was prepared by the Muslim members of parliament, which is evaluating the prospects and consequences of the proposed amendment bill. In this report, whatever the disadvantages lawyer Zarina has explained have been mentioned. Also, that report clearly states that the amendments which are contradict with the religious principles and which have the potential to put our community in new plights should not be included in the Amendment Act. Also, in that very report, it is stated that the report of the Muslim members of parliament is final and conclusive. According to our knowledge, when this report was prepared, the advice of ACJU also has been obtained to make sure this report is to best fits with the religious principles. This particular report was signed by 17 members of parliament out of 20. Initially, 18 members had signed. MP Kabir Hazim withdrawn his signatures after signing it. And MP Rauf Hakim and Minister Ali Sabri are the two members of parliament have not signed this report. This particular report of Muslim members of parliament with the signatures, with 17 signatures has been already submitted to the Justice Minister. Right after the report of Justice Minister handed over to report of the members of parliament handed over to the Justice Minister, the prominent Muslim civil organizations, realizing their responsibilities, they have gathered under one umbrella a report endorsing the recommendations stated in the report of Muslim members of parliament was prepared by the Muslim civil organizations, and that report was signed by more than 25 Muslim civil organizations, including ACJU, and most prominent Muslim civil organizations such as YMMA, National Surah Council, and Muslim Council of Sri Lanka. And this report also have been handed over to the Justice Minister. Prior to all of this, our organization, Strengthen MMDA, collaborated with Sri Lanka Sharia Council, have conducted a signature campaign island-wide. Around 40,000 signatures have been gathered in this campaign and submitted to the Minister of Justice. This is a significant number of signatures which cannot be ignored. Considering all of them, meaning the report of the Muslim members of parliament, which was signed by more than 80% of our representatives, the report of Muslim civil organizations, the significant number of signatures gathered in the signature campaign. It is important that the amendment to the MMDA should comply with the recommendations of those reports. As you all know, that should be the democratic way to do it. I have to mention here that even the Justice Minister said to us, when our representative once visited him to hand over the signatures we obtained from the signature campaign, quote, "The drafted amendment bill will be given to the Muslim members of parliament to obtain their opinion on it. Muslim members of parliament's opinion will be the final because they are the representatives of Muslim community," unquote. So it is obvious that the Justice Minister should not allow any amendment to the MMDA be contradict with the report submitted by the Muslim members of parliament. However, recently the Justice Minister in one of his interviews said that a new amendment bill, that means after the members of parliament submitted their report, another new bill has been drafted. Bill to amend the MMDA has been drafted. In this drafted bill, the age of marriage has been set as 18. He did not mention that whether the proviso for the very section has been included or not. Also, he had added that appointment of women qazis were permitted, and cases which are not concluded within 1 year in the quasi courts need to be forwarded to the district courts. These amendments, which are included in the new drafted bill, according to the Justice Minister, are obviously contradict with the above stated recommendations by the Muslim members of parliament. Also, we do not know whether any other amendments which contradict with the report of Muslim MPs are included in the newly drafted bill. We all were thinking that after the reports and signatures I have already mentioned have been submitted, this issue has been concluded. However, the above statement of the Justice Minister shows us that they are starting the whole process again from the square one. As I mentioned earlier, the report of committee appointed by Minister Ali Sabri and the amendment bill, which was prepared based on the particular report, were not transparent. It took good 2 years continuous campaign to bring at least the bill to be transparent, meaning at least it has been submitted to Muslim MPs for review. We strength in MMDA have played a vital role to create that pressure from our community. According to our understanding, the newly drafted bill is not going to be submitted to the Muslim MPs for review again. So it is not going to be transparent until it will be gazetted. According to my knowledge, this is completely against democracy, because this bill contains amendments which contradict with the report of Muslim members of parliament. So there is a necessity to the Muslim community, meaning the Muslim members of parliament, Muslim civil organizations, and the general public, to demand the Justice Minister for the transparency of the newly drafted bill before it will be gazetted. However, I would like to mention here that the Justice Minister's after the Justice Minister's recent statement about MMDA reform, that he has mentioned that a new bill has been drafted, we did not find any of the Muslim members of parliament have spoken about it. It is almost now 2 months have been passed. Not only the Muslim MPs are remaining silent or ignorant, also none of the civil organizations raised their voice against it. Surprisingly, even the ACJU did not remarkably done anything in this regard. We seriously don't know whether they have, meaning the Muslim MPs or civil organizations or ACJU, have took any particular steps under wraps. However, we did not hear anything publicly. Conclusively, I would like to bring some understanding in this MMDA amendment process that if you look into deeper in this amendment process, every time this reform issue brought to a conclusive stage, representing the will of Muslim community, this was blocked in the middle, and amendment process was again started from square one, forcing to include the amendment which are not preferred by Muslim community. Here, a reasonable question arises that why the amendments which are not preferred by the majority of Muslim community are again and again being proposed to a personal law which governs only Muslim community. This creates a reasonable doubt that is there any continuous external pressure in the MMDA reform process? So we believe that it is crucially important to identify what are the pressure being put forward and who are doing it, and what are the motive of those who are behind this. And also, it is our responsibility to create awareness to our community in this regard. I hope I have answered your question, Brother Sabri. Thank you.
Thank you, Shifana Sharifudeen, for providing us with detailed information on how the current amendment impacts our society. The consequences are significant, but as you rightly pointed out, there's a lack of rational awareness in our society, which unfortunately is limited. I would like to emphasize that any unfavorable amendment of MMDA are going to negatively impact our society. Hence, we all must tend to understand the seriousness of this issue, and we must contribute to protect